We're standing at the rear of the Parkridge building. It's a residential building, about 30 years old, located on Oxford Street, Darlinghurst, just near the corner of Hyde Park. It has 120 residential lots and 6 commercial lots. We started to look at water consumption in the building because we were concerned, I suppose, with 2 reasons. First of all was environmental reasons. We wanted to reduce our environmental footprint to begin with, but also the energy costs and the costs involved of having water coursing through the building and the use of water. We also got involved in the Sydney Water high-rise pilot, which gave us an indication of how much water we were using, and that seemed to indicate that we were using on the upper scale of what would be normal water use. The Sydney Water high-rise pilot actually did a breakdown of the water use going on in the building, and it seems that we were using about 2/3 of our water in showers, well 50% in showers, and the other amount of that 2/3 was going in toilet flushes and basins. By then looking at the Sydney Water Fix program, which had an initial cost of $22 per apartment, we thought it would be a good way to reduce that particular amount of usage, because those were the areas that were specifically targeted by the Water Fix program. The Sydney Water Fix program would look at low flow shower heads, low flow in kitchens and basins, and also reducing the flow in single flush toilets. Whilst the Sydney Water Fix program was simple in concept, in reality it's not such an easy program to implement in high-rise buildings. Basically because Sydney Water Fix was looking at not owners' corporation property, but property in individual apartments. We went through several stages. The first was we had an AGM where we agreed that the owners' corporation would pay for the Sydney Water Fix program. We would then need to write to all the owners to say that we would be undertaking such a program, and we would need to have their permission to go onto their property. So the planning process for the Water Fix program took some time, as most planning processes do, and then we needed to set out a schedule of time and fitting, etc. As it happened, we only needed to do 52 lots because about 50 had already previously been done and 13 declined to take part. So in reality, it only took 3 or 4 full working days for that Water Fix program to take place, but of course the planning process on top of that stretched it out to over 3 months. Okay, the results of the Sydney Water Fix program: reduced consumption of 15 kilolitres a day, below what we were using before. Now, that not only equates to reduced cost for water, but there are unaccounted for costs to do with energy consumption, because of course you have to pump the water up and pump it down from hot and cold water services. So those costs weren't factored in, but of course that is another cost that we were saving on. So 15 kilolitres a day. When you look at the price of water at the time, that equated to a payback period of 1.3 months for the $22 per apartment. If we were to do the project now at a higher rate, it would still be a payback period of only 11.3 months. In total, we save about $11,500 per annum in water bills. The benefit of being in the high-rise project was that we have this online monitoring of our water usage that gives us a picture of our water usage within a 24-hour period that we can log on to at will, and it's an ongoing resource that we have that will help us monitor our water expenses and usage in times to come.